Hello everyone and welcome back, it's Haywood again, and today I'll be pairing a rarer species of the Xenesthis genus, the Xenesthis species light. They are one of the newer additions to this genus. I would personally say they look similar to the species bright, but their slings, they have white legs just like the species bright and species white, but the like after they get their adult coloration, the pattern on their carapace is a bit lighter than the other ones. They also have more of a velvety look at the anterior, so the front end of the abdomen, the part that's closer to the carapace, which is similar to the species bright, and without much of the longer setae, longer hairs, just a cool black and velvety look, which is uniquely species bright or species light. And the posterior end of the abdomen, so the back half of the abdomen, the species light have some curly and longer setae, whereas the ones on species bright are straight, and that's what I personally use to identify them. And although coloration is not always the most reliable way to identify tarantulas, the species light typically have a more pinkish, lighter coloration on their carapace, as the name suggests, compared to something similar like species bright. And yeah, just look at how awesome the male is in that pink color. So pretty. Hope he's not mistaking the moult in front of him for the female. He's an old boy, he matured over 10 months ago. And soon after he matured, I actually paired him with this particular female here, but obviously she molted out. I've also sent him out on loans, and he had been doing his job fine. However, he's quite skittish, and I don't know if it's because his legs, if you have already noticed, are slightly curved. They're like this because when he had his final molt, he had issues pumping fluids to the tip of his legs, and they hardened up before it's fully stretched and straightened, leaving it curled like this, which might have affected his confidence. He just made a sperm up recently, so I'm sure he's still viable. Hopefully he is. But yeah, he definitely is mistaking the molt for the female. I tend to leave the molt inside my sexed females, especially if I don't see them molt, like catch them molt immediately and take out the molt immediately. Don't really see the point of dampening it, like stretching it out, potentially breaking it anyways. But yeah, if I do catch them molting though, I do like try and get it out and preserve them. But yeah, I tend to just leave it in there because I feel like they molt leave some like pheromones or stuff that would encourage the male to pair with the female. Just as it's shown here, the male is definitely lured, like drawn to the molt, perhaps more than the female. So there's definitely something in the molt. I sometimes use the molt. I sometimes put the molt in like male's enclosure to encourage them to make sperm ups, or perhaps like I put them to in immature sub-adult males enclosure in hopes that they mature faster. I feel like it might just tell them that there are adult females out there waiting to breed. I don't know if it actually works, but that's just what I've been doing. But yeah, there's not really any way to tell if it truly works, but yeah. Back to the pairing. I mean, if you look at the hind leg of the male here, the one that's touching the enclosure, you can see that it's sort of bent, especially the very end of the. That's what I've been saying. He had like a sort of a back mode, and the tips of his legs are all not properly hardened up, just like here. But yeah, otherwise he's a healthy boy. Been eating fine, making sperm webs, wandering around his enclosure all day looking for mates. Just normal stuff you'd expect a male tarantula to do. He's trying to, I guess, lift the female now, trying to hook his tibial hooks onto the female's fangs so that he could be in control, like get a better control of the female. For certain species where there's a huge size difference, it's only like it doesn't really make a difference. The female, if she wants to, she could still eat him. But for a species like this, like Xenesthis or some other Pamphobetea species, if the male actually gets a good hold of the female's fangs with his hooks, the female couldn't really like eat the male, but if the female try and eat the male could just straighten up his front legs and he'll be in like a safe distance, and worst case scenario his legs might get like bitten and like start bleeding, but he could usually get away. Usually if your Xenesthis or Pantherbetes gets eaten, well maybe not yours, but like in my own experience, if like Xenesthis and Pantherbetes males get eaten, it's usually when they just go in and they don't have the female under control yet, and the female immediately pounds on the male thinking it might be food or whatever. But yeah, if the male managed to get a good hold on the female, he's more than capable to like run away if he feels threatened. But yeah, back to the pairing. Now that the male managed to latch his tibial hooks onto the female's fangs, he's going all the way underneath the female's body, exposing himself to the huge fangs of the female, and there we go, that's a good insertion, and he's pulling the female's body towards him when he was trying to retrieve his like pedipalp, which was inserted into the female's epigastric furrow. And that's why, like, because the emboli, it's a curly shaped object, hard object that was inserted into the female's body. When he tries to pulls it out, it doesn't slide out immediately, so it drags the entire abdomen of the female towards him while he was trying to remove it from her body. And that's the insertion done pretty much. And knowing him, he's pretty shy, so I wouldn't even bother trying to put him in again immediately. I'll just feed both of them and try and pair them again soon after he hopefully makes another sperm up. But yeah, if you look at the leg span of the female, she's pretty big, well over 22 centimeters or 8.5 inches. But yeah. The Xenesthis species light is not the biggest Xenesthis species out there, but they are probably one of the leggiest ones. Perhaps just behind the Xenesthis species white lowland, the lowland form, and the leggy and lanky appearance of the Xenesthis species light make them appear a lot smaller when compared side by side to other species like Intermedia or Megascopula with the same leg span, since they have much bulkier legs than femurs. But what they lack in bulkiness, the species like more than make up for it with their looks. I mean, look at that carapace. It's easily one of the prettiest in the Xenesthis genus. And personally, I just love that velvety look on the abdomen. It's just something different, something that's not like other New Worlds, where you can see all the like urgicating hair and stuff. But yeah, the abdomen do look a bit small. I'll definitely have to feed her a bit more, get her to tip-top condition before I winter her. Really do like to breed this species. It's one of my favorite tarantula, not just favorite Xenesthis. But yeah, I think she's going back into her burrow. The mating experience might be a bit stressful for her. It's been a pretty quick and I guess easy pairing attempt, and I guess she's not going back into the burrow. But yeah, if you do like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.